Hello and welcome to season 7 of the More Sibyl podcast. I'm Mo, your host, and I'm thrilled to embark on this new chapter with you. As we kick off this season, I hope you'll get ready for more captivating conversations that celebrate cultural diversity and also delve into the personal journeys of our guests from all around the world. Throughout this season, we'll continue our tradition of exploring pressing issues and sharing intimate stories that resonate with our contemporary age. From navigating cultural nuances to overcoming life's obstacles, each episode promises to be a compelling exploration of the human experience. So, as your host, I welcome you to join us as we journey through the rich tapestry of global cultures, guided by the courage and vulnerability of our guests. Together, let's ignite curiosity, find inspiration, and set our stories free. Welcome aboard. Now enjoy the show. Before we start recording stuff, have you seen Kirk Franklin's Father's Day?
No, I haven't. Is it a video? Is it like a music video?
30 minutes, guy. Just 30 minutes. That's all. It's like,
I don't know what this thing is that I'm supposed to see.
Are you a Kirk Franklin fan?
I don't hate him.
Do you care about me at all?
Ah, come on. Seriously, we're going to do that.
We're going to do that. Yeah. let me start like RFA. Yeah. We're
Wow.
going to do that.
Yeah. It's so aggressive. It sounds so aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've always been, let me backpedal. High school, I was a Kirk Franklin fan. Like, all of his albums, like, I would trek to like record stores to get his cassette tapes. So I followed his career. I mean, as I grew older, I still had a good respect for what he tries to do in bringing gospel artists together, especially those relatively unknown names. But this particular project, is like all the pieces that were missing from those albums. You can now see almost like appreciating his process.
So is Father's Day an album?
So he has an album that is coming out. And this is like the pre-album, but it's a true life story. I don't want to ruin it for you, but man, I cried.
Okay.
But it's a
video, right?
He was adopted, right? He was adopted by a neighbor.
I didn't know that.
Family friend. Yes. There's one of his songs. This was one.
I know it was abused, but I didn't know about adopted.
1NC. His album 1NC. There was an intro about there was an intro he did about giving the baby. Like I forget the name of the song, but he was adopted by Miss Gertrude, who was like a family friend. And then his mom never told him who his father. I mean, she kind of like was just bouncing around, almost like dangling it in front of his eyes. Never knew who his real father was. And the person he thought was his father, who until his deathbed was thinking was his father.
Wait, he did not know.
It wasn't until he was 50-something.
He did not know he was adopted.
No, he knew he was adopted, but he didn't know who his biological father was.
Oh, wow.
His mom was like a teenage mom when she got pregnant.
It was a chance meeting that he even used to meet his biological father.
Yes. And they...
Like, Oko Jasini.
In fact...
Wow.
I'm not even related to this guy, but I'm mad on his behalf.
I'm interested.
You should watch it. Then we can talk.
You're mad on his behalf. Or you're proud. I didn't catch which one you said.
I'm mad.
Okay.
I'm mad on his behalf. Like, I'm mad for the things he had to go through, because the mother she still kept denying it, even in the face of paternity tests that proved like 99.9%.
Why was she denying it?
And then she said that I've wanted this for a long. I think they had the mom, the way I could profile her from what he said was, she just kind of manipulated a lot of things. I think withheld affection, because I think their relationship kind of got strained, and she was holding on to that one thing because she knew that he needed it. Some might call it gaslighting. So when the paternity test came out, and they did it like 3 times.
That's messed up, man.
Your mom said, I've been something about this is not true. It can't be possible. There's no way this is your father. And they're like, we did this.
What's that own? Like, why is he pinning her body?
Because he had his daddy size hole that he's been wanting
Does
to
she
fill.
hate the man like that or something?
I don't think it's about him more than it's about her and the relationship he's wanting to have. I think because he could always know that his mom, because they hadn't talked for a while, just because of her manipulative tendencies and how she. So I think when
that's messed up, man.
When he was this close to finding out the truth, because now he's gonna pursue that relationship with the father and try to fill that size hole. And the way she saw it was like, it was either me or him. That means you're gonna reduce your affection even further from
him. There's no space. That's
what I'm saying. And this guy is 50-something years old. There's something he said, which I'm gonna read for him because you had it coming. He said he's won a lot of awards. He's done so many things. But anytime he's
like this mother cannot be young.
She's not young. He's 57. So she should be like almost 70.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you be 70 and still be acting badly like this?
And then,
is that not the age when you're supposed to be repairing the issues
that
are still remaining?
Anytime he's in a room, it still feels it feels like a nobody. He still feels like unworthy because of this issue. It's 57 now. Like a little baby. And then you now know the impact of this. One of his son, Carry On, that one also has issues. They have like a fractured relationship. So he's trying to almost like mend his own relationship with his son. But these issues went back generations and generations, you know. Yeah. So you should watch it so we can talk. Anyways.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, let's watch it. Past lives. So
the lives that are finished.
I mean, this the movie.
Hey, what did they call that concept? Inyon.
No, don't say Inyon. Inyon. And the way they spell it is so.
Inyon. Hey, don't be oppressing my life. Inyon.
Yeah. The spelling is really wrong, but the romanization, I didn't like it. Inyon is like fate. It's like predestination in a way.
Yeah, I guess it was fate a bit from the way they described it. It sounded like fate to be one of the ideas inside the word.
Yes, but it's also deeper than that, though.
I'm sure it's more than, obviously you can tell that it's much more than that. But,
yeah.
But in terms of an English word that like captures it, fates.
Or the
fate
ties.
Is something like that.
Yeah, or the ties are between two people
that bind us.
Their lives, or 8,000 layers of fates. Like, you know, they talked about it. Yeah.
Over their many lives, though, not even just their lives. Over all their many lives.
Yes.
Because obviously a concept that is connected to reincarnation.
That's what I'm saying. As a Christian, we have no business talking about this deeply like that.
No, but we do, though, because again, this one.
Not the reincarnation part of it, though. Not the reincarnation part.
Wait. You don't have to be.
About flip on Brian.
No, more front flip. Sorry, are we recording? By the way.
Why do you always break out that love? Every day. Sorry, under the lechincha. I go.
Same to you. What the?
This is your thing. You always break character. You know how they said in the movie, your thing is you are the one that leaves. Your thing is you're the one that breaks character. But yeah, we've started recording. Welcome to the podcast, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, I guess.
But wait, let's do an intro. Because before we talk too far, because
we can't. I mean, you can keep all of this in if you want. I'm cool with it.
Oh, you just really forget. You know what I'm gonna?
I wanted to say something.
Okay, so
I wanted to say something.
Go ahead and say.
It's fine. You can always cut it out. I wanted to say something, but it's about the film. But no.
Wait, let's do an intro first. Now, don't forget what you want to say. Are you gonna forget to
introduce? Yeah, introduce.
Okay, all right.
I'm not gonna forget. It's all in my head.
Yeah.
I want to write a review about this film, just so you know.
I'm looking forward to reading it. It's a good one. I mean, it got me in my feelings. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. And this is Mo and...
Ayomide.
So, today,
I feel like I have to say differently every time. Sorry.
You really don't have to. Today we have a.
I'm sorry. I feel like I have to.
So, if you guys don't know this already, Ayomide and I are cinephiles. How do you call it? People that love movies. How do you pronounce that word? Cinephiles?
Movie lovers.
Movie lovers, yeah. So, Past Lives. It's a indie movie produced by A24, which is a very great movie company, by the way. And
distributed, actually, not produced.
Distributed. Thanks.
Yes.
And they I like how.
But they pick good films to distribute.
Exactly. I was about saying that. They remind me of the Miramax of way back. Miramax when it had his good days. Directed by Selling Song.
Yeah.
It's an indie drama that explores themes of reconnection, fate, and almost like
love.
Love, yeah.
Love.
Ayomide, your voice is cracking. You're in the Matrix right now. What's a glitch? Ayomide, you're glitching bad. Have you seen Wreck-It Ralph?
Sorry.
What's Wreck-It Ralph? Glitch badly.
Oh, sorry.
Can you switch like your mobile data or something? Or maybe use, I don't know what they're using for. So bad, man. It's really bad. He emerges, even though I'm judging you. I mean, this is what friends are for. We have to just accept each other. We have to accept each other, flaws and all. This is just, don't say I've not done anything for you in this life as a friend. Because, internet really matters. The way people discriminate against iPhone users and, and how just pathetic it can be. You have those flaws already. And then internet is like, how much can we take? But God has helped us, Sha. I'm a manager, of which you guys have started using Type-C charger. You see the memes going around about iPhone users and Type-C charger. Someone said, Android is like, God, you have a charger. Remember how they treated us badly? And then what's that fanfare over Type-C charger that we've been
Nobody made a conference out of it.
People are so low.
They have to announce it now so that
I'll give it to you. You could just take one tiny thing like this. We make a whole conference out of it. Type-C charger. Even the way they were able to announcing it. They announced it. I saw the video demo production. Enlarged it.
They were always going to do it. Apple
I'm sure it was European standards that made you guys, they forced you guys to do that. Otherwise, you'd be charging charger separately, phone separately, sell it at premium price. Aye.
No, but they helped to develop the Type-C charger. They don't have a problem with Type-C charger. They develop light.
But that's laptop. The market is different. I'm talking about phones.
The movement on Type-C charger was too slow. And by the time Type-C charger was now ready, lightning had gone too far.
The same way Samsung has been helping you guys. Yeah, only one that had that segment of the market.
Which segment of the market?
The Lightning, how many phones use Lightning? Only iPhone now. But Type-C.
I'm saying that they developed this Type-C with the company. Like they were key to development. Apple was key to developing Type-C. It's just because Type-C was too slow. Like the companies were taking too long. The group of companies that agreed on it. And Apple likes moving and just doing what they want to do when they want to do it.
Okay.
It's like they don't have they are fully on board with Type-C. It's just that, like now that they've moved it to iPhone, it's going to be difficult because now they have 1.2 billion people in the world that use iPhones. That's 1.2 billion people that have Type-C, that have Lightning chargers. So you can't just change something like that anyhow without planning it. That's why it took so long. And
then your child doesn't even last long. You are making money out of it. Just say the truth.
The money they make from it is not anything. It's barely change. Like they make money, but people always talk like it's one money. Like the money is nothing.
How many charges have you gone through? Do you know how my iPhone users, how they always guide their charger? You think maybe it's one world secret that I charge. Meanwhile, I have different chargers for my phone. I don't worry about chargers. See the way they
don't worry about chargers.
Hey, my charger.
The only thing is that I have a charger at work and a charger at home because I don't like forgetting my charger. So I like if I'm going from work somewhere, I like having a charger at work so I can charge my phone before I leave work. That kind of thing. That's all.
But then your battery doesn't even last long.
What?
Your batteries don't last long.
No, that was before now. But iPhone batteries have improved now. How about?
By how many percent?
No, like the last...
I can use my phone for like 2 days and not charge it.
A lot of people use their phones. I don't use my phone for 2 days because I use my phone a lot. But a lot of people use their phones for like 2 days.
Okay. All right, we have to start from the beginning.
I know, sorry.
I don't know how we
sound good
now. It's okay. It's good, which is why I don't know why we're talking about phone. When people have just been halfway done now,
because you have to get your beef. You have to express your beef. You was doing your body.
I guess.
All
right. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Mo and
Bide. Oh, I even said my name wrong. I forgot. Oh man.
I cannot with you, man. I cannot. So
I can't
welcome back.
That.
Yeah,
so that makes so much.
Dear listeners, for those joining us for the first time, welcome to the podcast. This is the More Sibyl podcast, and I have my wonderful friend here today. We'll be talking about a thought-provoking film that has been on our radar. It's called Past Lives.
Yep.
Directed by Sung, distributed by A24, indie production company.
That's punching above their weight.
It stars. Yes. Do you know? I didn't know they were the one that distributed Moonlight though.
Yep, they were. That's why when I say they're punching above their weight, I am not kidding.
I mean, they're like rolling with the upper echelon of Hollywood, but they're like outsiders.
They're consistently putting out good stuff.
Not many stuff.
But it's good.
Very selective.
It's good.
It's good stuff.
Like whoever is in charge of that, I think it's really more about selection. Taste. I think that whoever is picking the stuff they do really has good tastes. Like
I can tell they're very keen on culture.
Yeah.
And they're very good at culture. Hollywood misses that mark. They're very deliberate about culture.
They're not telling you everyday stories. They're really into telling the stories that haven't always been focused on as much.
Yep. I mean, look at Minari. Have you seen Minari?
I haven't, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
they
that's also another Korean
everywhere as well.
Yeah. Minari. Yeah, Minari.
No, I said they did everything everywhere all at once. That was them
everything.
As well.
Yes, that one. Yeah,
there's many more I can't remember now. I have to look it up on Google, on Wikipedia. But like I know I've seen their slate, and it's like I've got to a point where if I see A24, I'm all in because I feel like these guys are picked something good.
Same here. And to me, it reminds me of Miramax in the heydays when Anyways, for those that don't know this, myself and Ayomide, we love movies.
AKA cinephiles.
Always agree. Cinephiles, yeah. Cinephiles, yeah.
I like how the word sounds like cynic.
I know, right?
Which is the farthest thing it's from, isn't it? But yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So, Past Lives, it really looks at themes connected to reconnection, childhood, innocence, love, and then I think that complex interplay.
I don't know why you're avoiding
being
the
present
love part.
and
Like,
absent
the fact that it is,
because it's not for me. It's not like love.
I know
it's love, but I don't want to. I have to explain what it means because everybody just thinks love is love.
It's a love story. If you want to say in its simplest form, I know it's more than that.
I do not disagree with you, but that love is so oversimplified because when people hear love story, they think, oh, boy meets girl. They walk into the sunset together. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Boy meets girl, but
and they don't walk into the sunset. It was at dusk.
Yeah. Oh.
But man, okay, let's start from the beginning. So I've been waiting for this movie for a while. The reason I hadn't watched it was I was waiting to see it in a theater near me, but it didn't pack enough with punch to come to Oklahoma. So I ended up having to watch it on like pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
And
you didn't get it in cinemas at all? Or you missed the cinema run?
Not close by.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I think I missed that time. I was probably traveling there. It wasn't for a very long time.
To be fair, I don't think it was very wide. Popular. I don't think they played
exactly.
Very wide.
Exactly.
By the way,
let's start from
filmography, and I realized that they also produced or distributed, among other things, Beef.
Oh yeah. David Katz was there. Yeah,
Rami and Euphoria.
I remember his name. What?
Which I like.
Euphoria, like the series?
Like those are like.
Oh, HBO, the one with Zendaya.
Yes. These guys are really on it. Honestly, they are really on it.
No, somebody needs to interview them. Daniel Katz. I saw his name really on Beef. So man.
Like their picks are so top notch.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did.
Anyway, when you see anything distributed by 824, just go watch it.
Also, man, my goodness, like these guys.
Nice.
With that's Greta Gerwig's first.
Yeah. And you hardly even hear about them. They're so chill.
No, like they've been around.
Yes. Oh, it was founded in 2012.
And of course, everything everywhere at once with Toronto. Yeah.
Is it 2012? When did they get started? Was it 2012?
Yeah, 2012. They're new, right?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Like,
compared to them.
We didn't grow up with them or anything. Like, these are very much our adults.
I know.
In terms of like when,
I know.
But my goodness, like they are punching above their weight. Like it's not even a debate.
Oh, did you know that they distributed The Whale? Stop it.
No. Oh yeah. I just remember because I saw it when I watched The Whale and I forgot about it because I remember seeing it and thinking it was these people again or The Whale.
And then Uncut Gems with
oh man.
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler. Yes. Oh wow.
No, forget it.
Oh no, these guys are good.
Forget it.
And the journalists are so broad. They are so broad.
Yeah, forget it. Yeah. Like
they're good. They're good. So anytime, not to the audience. Just watch.
Just watch first, ask questions later.
Yes. They're up for a challenge, you know. They turn into any project into the greatest asset. Anyway, so past lives. So I know you don't really watch a lot of Korean dramas or Korean movies. You know, and I didn't want to think of this as just another Korean.
It is, thing, and it's
even though it was.
It is, but it's more than that. Yes. Yeah, I agree.
All that say, let me explain what my bias was coming into the movie. I didn't want to just take it like one of things I was used to. So I set myself up to be surprised, and it did not disappoint. Oh, Ayomide, the mood, the cinematography. Can we talk about that?
Wait, let's take it in order because I feel like we're just going to like go all over the place. So we obviously we're going to talk about the story, but maybe let's start with the plot. No, not the plot. Sorry, we'll talk about the plot and the narrative. Yeah. But maybe let's start with the sort of the structure of it. So the cinematography.
Okay.
And then we can and then maybe after we talk about the plot, we can talk about the themes. Because I really want to talk about the themes.
Okay, let me note them down. So we talk about the cinematography, the plot.
There's not a lot to say about it. The cinematography is amazing, but I don't think we will spend a lot of time on it, to be fair.
Excuse you. Excuse you. Is it a cinematography? I have a whole thesis ready for you.
All right, hit me.
I did not come here to play. Man.
It was very beautifully shot.
It was even Taiwo. It wasn't Taiwo that made me realize that, wait, these people don't talk much. Because I'm used to it. I'm used to...
No, but for me, this is not part of the cinematography, though. This is... I know. This point is a massive one for me. But I'm saving it for the themes.
Okay, cinematography was good. I love the symbolism.
Or actually, do you know
and
what?
How they use...
Let's add another one between the plot and the themes, which is the acting.
The themes,
because this talking much bit is under the acting. And there's a lot to say about the acting.
The eyes. If eyes could talk, literally.
Let's stick with the cinematography.
Okay.
So it's not. I thought it wasn't shot to be a beautiful film, in that sort of like Wes Anderson way, or like there's this film I'm trying to think about.
Which one?
or like a
Quentin
Steven
Tarantino?
Spielberg film. Quentin Tarantino doesn't really go for beauty. Is
no,
not,
I mean like the way he sets up his
beautiful shots. Yes. But in terms of the framing, for me, the framing was what I loved. And I'll tell you the two things I loved about the framing.
I think it's the phone.
The framing of the shots, generally,
yes.
But in particular, the framing of characters within the shots. Something I noticed in a lot of the interactions between the two people, which we'll talk a bit more when we get to the plot, which is why we have to talk about the plot. But there's not obviously, but there's a key sort of man and woman relationship. There's another guy which will come to, but there's a key man and woman.
Same.
This key man and woman, a lot of the framing, the woman was shot above the man, which was something I noticed after the first. In the final shots, it was flipped. And but then, that plays what's so ironical? Importantly into the theme.
But he's taller. He's taller than her. So
which is why you know that this was a choice.
Yes.
And that was just one of but there are many other little things they do. But for me, that was one of the key ones that just really captured just the intentionality of how the director was shooting this thing. Another little thing I liked, by the way, was when they were doing the Skype, because this is a story that was told across several decades,
timelines,
about 3 decades. I think
with social media, 3 decades, yeah.
And in the first decade or the second decade, they were using Skype, and I love the fact that one, it took me back just to hear that Skype ringtone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Early days of courtship. We all know that ringtone, man. Right?
Yeah.
But not just... And then when you hear the ringtone for a long time, and you're thinking, this person better pick. And the Skype ringtone could go on for almost 3 minutes. It would give you time. But then I love how the quality of the video, it was also
gritty. It was
he hung at one point, he froze for some frames. And I'm just yep, I know this life.
And then the smile just before you saw his name, Hae Sung, appear, was going to pick up the phone.
Yes.
And then the show has smile
yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, man.
No, not Chicha.
It was beautifully shot.
It was.
But I like the fact that it wasn't, I wasn't shot beautifully as well, because it was almost this.
It was, yeah.
It was almost like we're not trying to romanticize this story romanticize what we're talking about. And I feel like making it beautiful in that sort of really just beautiful would have overdone it. So it was shot almost like a regular film, there wasn't an attempt to over beautify the shots and just get the cinematography in general in that sort of, I don't want to say artificial way, like Barbie, it wasn't beautiful in the way Barbie is beautiful.
No, yeah.
Right? It was nothing like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was nothing like that. 2 things for me. At the point, it didn't feel like I was watching a movie. It felt like I was standing there with them and just observing.
Yes.
It was very immersive for me. And then the other thing was the use of natural elements. So in the first few scenes where I think he found out that they were going to immigrate, and then they were there was almost like a divergence in their path.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about
that.
And then they go their different paths.
Korea, let me just say.
But you also recognize the metaphor. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Let me explain what Chaiga means to you. Now, even though you probably read the subtitles,
Chaiga is almost subtitles.
almost like see you again. It wasn't like, you're going to be gone for a long time or forever. It wasn't a final goodbye.
Oh.
So yes. It's like what I can tell you.
That's the nuance I would miss, obviously.
You will miss those nuances. But let me just say that the subtitles, they did a great job, by the way. Contrasting that to what we see on Netflix, they did a great job. But some things that you can't carry.
But again, that's another intentional thing, isn't it? That's what that implies.
And then the fact that they never looked back, and almost like they were both content to know that this is what our fate was going to be like. And then when you talked about that framing,
every other day.
Exactly.
It wasn't.
But look at that part. Look at that part imbalance where she was crying because she came second and he came first.
Yeah.
And then they did a flip with their, the way they juxtapose them as far as their framing. So all their life, they've always been that power dynamic, which we always talk about.
Also, when they parted, so she went up.
Yeah. Yes. And then he just kept going.
Oh, man. And like, obviously, she went up because there were stairs, but.
She was going to Migo.
He was also making a point. Right? It's like, it reminded me of like in the Bible, like when you read those places where they say, and this person went up into.
Yes, and was not seeing any more glory.
No. I mean, even talking of like when they're talking about, this person went up into a land, but the up is also like a deliberate choice to imply some kind of elevation, right? Or that one went down. When you see that one went down, it's like, okay, you're already being prepared that something bad is about to happen to this person. Like it felt like that, like where, they went down because they went south, but it's also making a symbolic point that they went down in their faith, in the way their life was going. Their life went downward, right? And it's interesting because, like in the Bible, when that happens, it's like sometimes you'll see someone went down into something that looks good on the surface, but it's like the fact that they used down there is like that thing is not as good as it looks. That was
solid as it's supposed to be.
That was what that scene made me feel like. He went straight. He didn't go down.
Yes.
He just followed his normal path.
He went straight.
But she
rose but she went up
in some
upward mobility.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Which is why I feel like their relationship, again, this is kind of, there's no way you can talk about it without some things just coming in. I feel like
dynamics.
He was a constant reminder. Yes. He was a constant reminder of a life that she still wanted to leave behind. But then the affection she had for him still made her want to just linger. But he was always going to be a reminder of Korea. And Korea was a place of not being able to fly and establish her independence away from her father.
Yeah.
Given that they were going to be in the same field. Man.
Yeah.
I understood the girl.
At this point, I think we should talk a little bit about the plots.
Okay.
Because I don't think we've gotten into a lot. We've said some spoilers. We didn't want people about spoilers.
Spoiler alerts.
But
if you're just watching, they go watch the movie and come.
Before spoilers, let's just say a brief idea of what the plot is like, so that people who haven't seen it, I'll just do a quick sort of like no spoiler plot.
Because I was spoiling. I don't tell anybody. I was spoiling.
So non-spoiler plot summary. This is the story of a boy and a girl who are friends in Korea.
You're not gonna even mention their names.
I can't remember their names, unfortunately. Sorry.
Nayong.
But then she changes her name to Nora, doesn't she? Which is also an interesting detail. All of this happens.
That's so.
All of this is not really a spoiler. All of this is like within the first 5-10 minutes of the film. So it's not really.
But you know that happens for Koreans and Chinese. That's what they do. The mother was filling out their names.
Motolani, let me finish the summary.
What's that? Sorry.
So, this is this boy and this girl, and they meet in Korea.
Nora and Hae Sung.
Nayong is the girl. Sung is the guy. Hae Sung is the guy. Mm-hmm. And they're kids, and they meet. But when we meet them, Nayong's family is just about to emigrate to the US from South Korea, which is where they are, they grew up. And they don't give their age exactly, but they look like 10-ish, 10, 11, that sort of age. And then this is basically the story of what happens in terms of how they intersect across over the decades. So just in terms of like a broad point, we see them at 3 different times. So we see them as children. We see them when at another point and this is another really interesting thing, because they meet. Their story is like their story is like told in chunks of 12 years, which I thought was very interesting. So you meet them when they're kids, you meet them 12 years later again, and then you meet them another 12 years after that, which is 24 years after the first meeting. And so the story is sort of told in these 3 chunks of like, there's the first bit, there's the 12 years bit, and then there's the second set of 12 years after bits. So let's call it like year 0, year 12, year 24. It's the 3 times you meet them. And it's in the middle, you get sort of the bit of what had happened in the gaps, but the part that the film really focuses on is those chunks. I don't know if it was deliberate to make it like connect to like 24 hours.
Can I just say why it's 12?
Yeah.
There are many symbols of zodiac and animal science, which is very big in Korean astrology, Chinese zodiac, numerology,
so
symbolism,
the 12 number
traditions.
Is very important.
It's 12,
It felt deliberate, that much. Like, I didn't even know what the meaning was, but it felt like this is the choice.
And
this
in past lives, reincarnation,
Right, yeah, this is not. And so, and then one of the key things the story explores, is the idea of past lives, which I will let you explain. Is this word called in neon and some of this idea of fate and everything. But yeah, I think I'll let you handle that bit. But I think at this point, we should probably just say spoiler warning. So this is just sort of the broad, it's a lot much. This summary doesn't really do justice. But I suppose the thing I would say here is it is a love story that is not your usual love story by any means.
Yes.
It doesn't, it does a lot of things differently. It plays with some, it plays with some expectations. It sets up some expectations and then plays with them in very interesting ways, which is amazing. But in ways that are fulfilling, like not like that sort of thing where like a film plays with expectations, like what are you even doing? It's not that at all.
No.
But it's also just the story of like, it's about choices. It's about the choices you make and the
time and chance.
It's about the cost of the choices you make. Yeah, I don't want to say much more than that before we get into spoilers. But yeah, spoilers.
So let me talk about inyon. Inyon is a Korean term, and it can be quite challenging to translate into English. Here's why. Because it refers to, and I'm not even Korean, so my understanding is still limited based on just, studying Korean just for the past 7 years and all. So I'm sure a native Korean speaker will probably be able to add more breadth to this. But from my limited understanding, it refers to this deep and often mysterious connection or bond between people. And this connection can be due to fate, can be due to destiny, it can be due to like this sense of preordained connection, right? And you can use inyon to describe various types of relationships. It could be romantic, it could be familial, it could even be friendships, where you feel this strong and meaningful connection that goes beyond just mere chance or coincidence. And it's a concept, finally, I think it's a concept that carries a sense of spiritual or cosmic connection in Korean culture. So, like, my birthday is October 9, which is coming up in some days' time. And it's also the same day where the Korean alphabet's Hangul was promulgated, like almost like it was created. So when I meet Koreans and I tell them my birthday is October, that like you're so it's fate for you to have learned and love this language.
There's a lot of faith in connecting.
There's a connection. Inyon, that's it.
So it's sort of like this idea, if I'm understanding correctly, sort of this idea of paying attention to the connections in life and with us and people and things, I suppose.
Yeah.
And what those connections might imply for what comes next.
Maybe. And I think that even though Nora became what you call Korean Americans, and I think for us as immigrants, we can appreciate how when you leave Nigeria, people don't think you're anymore as Nigerian as you were before. So remember how in the pub, they were talking about maybe in our past lives, maybe you were the emperor and then you betrayed your nation. So those themes of perhaps we're never meant to be, because there's always something that is always going to be in our way. So even if we had to live this life again, we're still going to be parallel lines that would never meet. And that acceptance, I think that was just what was very powerful for me. Because when we watch movies like that, we want a resolve, and maybe sometimes it might be pushing away the current love ritual so you can make way for the one that came first.
We want a particular kind of resolution.
That's what I mean. What I meant by resolve, I meant like the one we're used to.
Doing here. That's not the story we're telling.
That's it.
One of my favorite bits is that scene where they're in bed and the guy basically tells you the thesis of the film. That's and it's like it's basically almost like the directors are looking at you and saying, in a different film,
breaking the fourth wall,
would happen here. This is what story this would be. This is not that film. Get over yourself. We're telling a different story. I love
there was something Arthur said. He said, "This is a husband, by the way. You make my world so much
and I don't
bigger,
know if I do the same for
and
you.
I'm wondering if I do the same for you."
Man. Oh,
yes, I'm rolling in my chair.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing line.
Okay. At the point, let me just confess. I thought he was a simp initially. Like that was my.
But I think that was deliberate, right? That was them.
Okay.
That's what I meant about expectations, right? They set you up. They set you up to see him as this guy is not going to last. The true lover is coming. They set you up to see him as this is the guy who's going to hold space.
He doesn't even speak Korean.
This guy is going to hold space until the real one shows up. Because you know that guy. You've seen him in 100 films, right? You know him.
You don't even notice him when he passes by. You don't even notice him when he passes by. Nobody.
Right? And even the way he looks. Even the way he looks. Korean. Like, I remember I watched it with my friend that I watched it with. I remember looking, she looked at him and she was like, I'm sorry, this guy's face is even annoying me. And I feel like, and I get what she meant.
It was deliberate.
The actor was cast deliberately. He had a sort of gawkiness about him. He had a sort of, and I'm sure you've seen him. I'm sure you've seen another film. Win. I'm sure he'll be and be like a really sort of hunky cool guy. But there's something about his appearance and the way he dresses. He just looks like, I'm sorry, you don't deserve this woman. What are you? Who are you? and then they develop him, and then you begin to see that there's so much more to him. There's so much more depth, so much more nuance.
To him, yeah.
And he's actually this really amazing person.
Understanding.
And it's not like he's
gets
perfect.
It. I think he got him more than the wife did. No.
He really, really cares.
You could also see the streak of jealousy, which I was expecting to see. Like when he said, "I'm not going to stop you from going saying that." But what am I going to do? I can't stand in your way. Like go.
But you know something else I love.
Real. But the pub was awkward. The pub was awkward.
The scene when she first told him about Hae Sung, I love that scene for a few reasons.
Tell me why.
That scene made me feel the depth of their relationship. Because when she was telling me about it became very clear to me quickly that she knows this is difficult, but she wants to be honest with him.
Yeah.
So the way she told him,
did you have feelings for him?
Just like be honest with him. Like this guy is coming. I'm going to see him. There is history, and I want you to be aware. You know, so
it's mature.
But I feel like and the reason why I'm saying that tells me about their relationship is we there's the relationship you will be in where you will not feel confident or safe. To say that. Yeah. The fact that she chose to say, or what people will often do is to say it, but like
after the fact.
No, or like they will say it like it's nothing. Like, I'm meeting a friend, you know.
By the way.
Yeah, like I'm meeting a friend after dinner, and maybe like just leave it at that, like without sort of. She didn't do that. She was like, "This is it. How are you going to respond?" And like it was so funny because like. As she started saying, after she said some things, you could see his face. And I love the fact that, again, this is what I'm saying about the cinematography. They were not focusing on her, they were focusing on him. So you could see her back as she was brushing her teeth and talking. No, she wasn't brushing her teeth. I think she was making up. But like, you could see him, he was facing the camera. And so he was the focus and she was sort of in the background. But she was the one talking. So what you were seeing was
which is like
you were seeing his facial reactions to what she was saying. But the person that was actually talking, you couldn't even see her face. Right?
Yeah.
And then he says, is he attractive? And this is what I love. She does not break a bit. And that's when I knew he's doing this deliberately. She doesn't pause like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. That's when I knew, oh, no. This is exactly the conversation she wants to have. Right? She just says, kind of and kind of not. Like she responds like, and that's when I knew she's talking about this conversation. This is not like something she just thought of in the moment. Like, she's ready. You know, it was so good. It was so good. But it was that moment I thought, oh man, these guys have a really good relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they talk things out. You know, it's like having the difficult conversation. And you're able to, like, understand that, okay, when this person says this, this is not what they mean, or this is how they're trying to say. But I'll say that pub incident was very awkward for me. Because if you remember the opening scene was somebody almost breaking the fourth wall and half.
I love that. I love that opening scene. I love how in the opening scene they were like, oh,
they
that
thought
guy
the Koreans and the Koreans together. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's the Uber driver.
Yeah, it was so funny.
At 4 a.m. in the morning.
It was so funny because you realize very quickly that, that has to be, that cannot be, I mean, once you know who the two people are, you realize that's maybe like her boyfriend or something. It's even later you realize it's her husband. Yeah. But like the whole time you're thinking about that opening scene and thinking, wait, what? What was happening? That, and of course, you're coming back to that scene. But again, I like the choice to start with that. Almost like the whole setup expectations thing again. That's what they were doing, wasn't it? And it was.
Yeah.
But again, the awkwardness is still a credit to the guy because he knew it was going to be awkward. He knew it was going to be weird, but he leaned into it. I love the fact that he leaned into the awkwardness.
I felt like he
didn't shy away from it. This is one thing I don't get. Easy thing to do.
Yeah. But he looked like a simp. I won't lie. Initially, okay. Remember how they reconnected? This was even before she met Arthur, right? They reconnected and they were talking, you know, she was going to class, she was trying to do her thing, moving from Canada to the US. And then she just said, you know what, I need to stop talking to you because otherwise I'm not going to be able to find myself here.
Yeah.
I got that part, but I still didn't get it because I'm like, you destroyed the chance. But I could understand why. This is why I feel like a strong reason why she could feel that they could never be together was it was always going to be a reminder of her potentials that she might not be able to reach. It's almost like it was a constant reminder of Korea. And Korea was a place that she didn't want to be associated with.
I don't think it was just that, though. I felt like, because I kind of get it. It's like, I'm here. I need to be here. And what is happening now is, I'm falling for you. And again, this comes back to the point of like the fact that there was so much silence. I feel like there was so much silence because of all the things they were not saying.
They left. Exactly, but they left that to our interpretation. Yeah. You guys fill in the blank.
There was so much silence because of all the things they weren't saying. So even in that statement, there were many things she didn't say. She didn't say, I'm falling for you. That was left for us to see. That obviously she's falling for him. But it's like, okay, I'm falling for you. I'm thinking about coming to Korea. But all of it's not going to help me. Like, I feel like it wasn't even so much about like Korea is a bad place as much as I have dreams and ambitions.
Not like a bad place. Yeah.
And look at me wanting to drop all of it to chase you.
To kind of
that's not going to help. That's not going to help.
She's been looking at tickets. She's been spending time looking at tickets, flight tickets to Korea.
It was really a breakup. Like, and I think both of them knew, even though she was saying, oh, I just need a bit of time. I think both of them knew that this is going to be a long-term thing. This may take years. But again, it was one of those things that was not said. And it was so beautiful because implied. In the moment when they finally said the things, the one time they had a good, free, easy conversation was in the pub.
Yes.
But that was also because that was the one time when they finally said the things they had never said for 24 years.
But Ayomide, I don't know, at the point, I felt like I was watching an R-rated movie. Even though they did nothing like that. It was all in the eyes. It was all, you remember, they never touched themselves.
There was
apart
no
from
touching.
The hug. Even in the plane, even in the train, they had their hands like almost like close. They were always so close.
Do you know that scene when they looked at each other at the end is one of the most tense scenes I've ever seen in my life, and nothing was happening.
Do you know what somebody said? What if on his way back he just had a car accident and they never made it back to perfect ending?
That would have been like what a bad film would do.
That would be my ending.
But like honestly, that scene when both of them just standing and looking at each other for like one, and the film held this for like 90 seconds. It was a long I feel like
it was
like
awkward for me watching them watch themselves.
Motolani, there was one period. There was one period in that moment when I was like, Ayomide, why are you not breathing?
I like how you call me my government name, Motolani. You know, you're serious.
I was holding my breath. Like that's when I was like, Ayomide, breathe now. It's okay. You can breathe. They're not going to kiss her. Because in that moment, it was like, you don't want them to kiss. Because it would just spoil everything. But you are afraid that they will kiss.
No.
But then you're afraid of like, or what if something else happens? What if someone says something stupid? It was just such an awkward moment. It was so tense. And then I love the fact that, again, this is what I'm saying about the framing. Because they were standing and then there was this space between them. And it was almost just symbolic of all the things that hadn't ever been said. Just in that space.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But some things that she did there that I could really understand was when, he did that too as well. Remember when they met and they were walking towards the pond? I think they were going to the park. And then he was down talking of himself, like, you know, I'm ordinary. My job, income, ordinary. You know, my girlfriend should find someone. And then the way, when they met, you know, she hugged him. And but he was like, the way she hugged him, Koreans don't hug like that.
So that was the American.
That
was the American in her.
Yes. They don't, exactly. And then she said, you're so Korean, you know, made it. But I mean, so those kind of differences between them, even though they are, you know, nationality, but Koreans, but, you know,
she's different.
Hazards probably.
I love that thing she said when she said, you remember when she was talking about her husband, that he makes me feel more Korean, but also less Korean. I was like, I get you, sis.
Yes.
I so get you.
Oh, and then when she said, this was this kid in my head who became a picture on my laptop and now a physical person. Hey, Ayomide.
Yeah.
You didn't remember that part? Man. But you know what? I think that another thing we forgot to even talk about here is the
every immigrant. You have that reality, those relationships across a screen.
Yes.
Or those voices on
and then people
phone. You know,
or
that you
symbols,
continue to
or things,
keep in
or
touch
jingles
with.
Yeah. For me, it's Nigeria Twitter or Nigeria Instagram. You know, just a slice of home.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie is also a sensitive look at what it feels like to be an immigrant, where you're torn between two cultures. You're not sure whether the nostalgia you feel is really what you really want, or just the allure of the familiar.
It's just a picture in your head.
Because it's what you know. But man, the movie never wasted. There was no moment wasted.
Every shot,
film, every sentence was meticulously
it felt like
edited.
Slow because we need time to cook this thing. Not like slow, like let's just make this thing long.
It was good. But it was 2 hours long. You know that it was
it's not
an
even
hour
very
54 minutes long.
It's just about
an hour 54
really?
minutes.
It felt shorter than that.
Yeah. Let me confirm though.
I thought it was like an hour 40.
Let me see. Length. 46.
Right.
46. An hour 46. It's good.
And then I liked another thing I liked was so one of my big things from the film is it's for me it's a rare depiction of like married love in a beautiful way. And the fact that marriage, so this was just one of my absolute favorite things about it. Like it shows like the thing where, so in a sense, like a long-term partnership like that, you know, like marriage is basically committing to somebody, but then choosing them again and again and again. And that's sort of multiple choice, right? And it's not like
radical acceptance. Yeah.
But it's not, no, I'm even emphasizing specifically like the idea of not just acceptance, but choosing them. Like choosing them when other options pop up.
I see, like sticking your claim. This is my person.
Possibilities are right. And like, no, I still choose. But also acknowledging that sometimes that choice costs. Right? Like that choice is not
opportunity
sometimes
cost.
a very easy choice. Like you're the best person I know. But other times it's like you're a really good person, but what if I try this other option? And it's like, no, I'm still going to choose you. But man, that option would have been fun. just to explore.
I know.
Just explore for a bit.
I have a question for you. Let's step aside from the movie a little bit. We'll come back to it. Did it make you think of just your past relationships, or maybe some things you?
Not really. It was just it made me think of people I know who have made choices like that. You know, because so I'll put it, and I think that's why I love the film so much, because in many films you would often see what you would often see in many films is he would go off with that guy, and you would find out that the husband maybe like he's not actually that great, and is maybe like a stupid guy, doesn't even appreciate her, and this guy is the one who really loves her. And,
vagrant.
You know, and she's the one he's really meant to be with.
Yeah, totally understands her.
Yeah.
Which life is not always like that. It's not always that simple.
But,
you know.
But I love that what the film said was, there's something that could happen here. There's a real thing here. There's something very real here. Right? There's a real connection. There's a real whatever. But her husband is also a good guy. He's a great guy. And he loves her. And even acknowledging like the things the film acknowledges, like the fact that it acknowledges that, yeah, I know you. Like he said at one point, I really know you. But also, there's a part of you that I don't have access to. And I'm reminded of it when you talk in your sleep, because you talk in Korean. You talk in Korean. And that is a reminder for me, because that's one thing about a long-term relationship, is that you know this person more than anybody else. You know them in some ways more than they know themselves. And yet, there is that space, that inner sanctum that you know you don't completely have access to. You don't completely understand. Maybe even they don't completely understand it. You know, that was beautiful. That was just like, I found that incredibly beautiful. But then I also love the fact that, you know, in making the choice, like, I like the fact that the film did not make it an easy choice. Like, it didn't like, because again, like I said, it could have made like, the husband's actually a jerk. Or it could have been like, actually, Hae Sung is actually a jerk when she met him in real life. Like, turns out.
But he was like, just, no, they were all human. Nobody was like a villain. Yeah.
Like, they're both great guys. There's no jerk here to red flag and be like, there's no red flag. Right? There's none of that.
There's no anti-hero.
No, it's like, he's just really a good guy. And like, I love, you know, my favorite thing is that the fact that the film also gives her the space to mourn what could have been.
You could see, the look on her face.
Like, she breaks down crying. Like when she walks away from him, which I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah, and then the husband hugs.
That was my favorite thing. Like the fact that when she mourns him, where does she mourn him? In her husband's
husband was there.
arms.
The hands of her husband.
Sorry.
Beta. There's this thing among red pill men. Like, it's not an alpha male. I know.
No. I know you were joking, but I'm saying I feel like the film was actually speaking to that issue and deliberately portraying him as what is actually normally seen as this is a simp. But then going on to say,
the beta move,
there is a real strength here that this looks like weakness, but it only looks like weakness to someone who doesn't get what it takes to be like this, to be this kind of person. And actually it takes a lot more strength than being macho. Like being macho actually does not take as much strength as that guy had to do. You know, which I feel like is such a massive point. And so like the whole thing of him crying, of her being able to cry. And that was one of the things I love. Like she didn't actually break down fully until she was in his arms. Yeah. Like she was starting to like tear up, but actually it was when she got into his arms. And it was just such a beautiful way to end the film, because that's where the film ends. It's with her in his arms. You know, it's like it ends in this place where she's saying, you are the one I choose. And I do choose you, but it hurts. And in this moment, I am mourning the costs of choosing you. Even as I choose you. And I love the complexity of that.
Really?
Like, it is so beautiful and so honest. You know, and him being able to understand that, I understand that. And I'm not taking it, like, this is not about me. This is not, This is just about you being human. This is not a reflection on me actually as a guy or as a good husband, or like, this is not about me. This is just you needing to grieve. It was, man, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh. Oof. Oh, and something else I was going to say that I really love, the choice that the film made that I thought was really interesting. She was the one that always left him.
What's that?
In the final scene, she was the one who always left, right? Like he said.
You know, but she said so. He said so. Now you're the one that always leaves.
He was the one who leaves. And I think that part of her grieving,
he was living back to his
part of her grieving was feeling what he was like to be the one left.
To be left behind. This movie deserves a whole thesis.
Because in a real way, he was the one that left. And I think again, and I'll justify that by a couple of things. You know, at the end, she says to him, what if there's a future life? She's the one that asked that question, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm, yeah, he did.
No, is it him? Is it him or her?
Yeah. Oh no, he did at the taxi cab.
Was it him that asked that question?
Yes, the cab start. Yeah, he did.
And then she says something like, "It doesn't." I can't remember what she says, but
it doesn't matter. It's still gonna be. I'm gonna say it's gonna be the same outcome anyway.
I read the answer. Let's just focus on this life. Like, I feel like that was sort of a point. Like, why are we worrying about the past or the future lives? This life is the one we are in.
It's funny how we can both watch the same thing but come up with different interpretation. My own was most like, this is almost like it's always gonna be the same thing. Especially when she talked about in the past life, maybe that you were an emperor and betrayed. No, you could be right.
Or it could be both.
I don't think it's right or wrong here.
Both.
It's just how we both interpreted it exactly. How we both interpreted it.
But then,
but let's talk about the acting.
Sorry, but just before you get to the acting, I just want to say the other thing that I thought was interesting was in that moment when they say goodbye finally before he leaves. That was the first and in the whole film where he's framed as above her, which is why I felt like, he's the one leaving now. He's in the position of power. Right? And she's the one grieving for once. Because he's always been the one that grieved when she left. Anyway, sorry. But back to the acting. You're going to say about the acting.
The acting was... it's just performance just said. The acting was great. So, Tae-hoon, whose name is Teo, he's... do you know he speaks 3 languages? He speaks English fluently, German fluently, Korean fluently. And the way they made him struggle, I'm like, I hate you guys for doing this to this guy. Like, the way they made him struggle with his English, that was good acting right there. Yeah.
Have you seen Jury Duty?
To Germany.
Did you see Jury Duty?
I have seen Jury on Amazon Prime. Yes.
You remember the guy who, I think was Korean as well.
Asian guy.
Who had to speak English very... speak English very bad. Ken, I think his name was. And then at the end, he says like that was... Because actually, he's very fluent. He speaks with a perfectly wonderful American accent. And then he has to do this sort of Korean, very slow. I can't really speak English well. And it was like, that was so hard for me, man. That's what you just said. What you said, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Like... He's very fluent. He's very accomplished. But he has to act like he doesn't know what he's doing, which is very so hard. Like, it's actually harder than it sounds.
Yeah. And Greta Lee.
I know. Greta Lee is it's like me trying to do I can't speak English.
Did you say in Russian doll?
No.
Have you seen in Russian doll?
I knew her first. I actually knew her first from the morning show. And Don't Puke on Apple TV Plus. Okay. That's where I knew her from. And then,
do you know her husband Jeb on 30 Rock?
No, I didn't actually.
Her husband.
Who's her husband?
Ross Armstrong, yeah.
Oh.
Ross Armstrong. Did you ever watch 30 Rock?
No, I just know about it. Sorry.
Oh yeah. He was Jeb on 30 Rock.
Okay.
His character was very annoying. Very annoying. You think Arthur looks, annoying, or Jeb was disgusting. But they're two power couples. They've been together for I think maybe 15 years or so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, but man,
she's amazing.
Even the way their eyes,
the facial acting,
yes,
in this film,
the smiles, the hair, the flicking of the hair, the body movement, the awkwardness of, and I feel I have those sensations, and when I go meet somebody I haven't seen in a while, maybe we just connected on the internet, we had good chemistry, and that fear of just when you just meet them in person, and you feel like you're never gonna be enough.
You feel like you know them, but you also feel like you don't know them.
You don't know them, you don't know them. And then that article that I sent to you from thinkchristian.net, they actually talked about there was something a monk.
So I was actually going to talk about that.
There was a priest.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, there was a priest and theologian. He said something about the paradox of the distance and closeness that comes with presence. And his words were, one of the mysteries of life is that memory can often bring us closer to each other than can physical presence. Indeed, many of our disappointments and frustrations in life are related to the fact that seeing and touching each other does not always create the closeness we seek. And I'm like, damn, throw the mic away.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just all an illusion.
I was going to say that there's a lot of in the themes of the film that I feel like is very faith related.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And interesting, there's one point where they reference someone's Korean faith. I think it was the guys when he prays over his food or something. It was a simple show, but it was just like a reminder of like a lot of Koreans are Christian, and Christianity is quite strong in Korea. So that was fun, but the way because one, I feel like there's this sense in which this film is very affirming of marriage, but in a very realistic, sort of strong way, not in a sort of sentimental way, in sort of like, look, marriage will cost you, but it's worth it. That sort of thing is what I feel like the film is saying.
Yeah. It's worth fighting for, yeah.
And one of my favorite things is, so because of the way it's framed and the 12-12-12 narrative, you don't get to see the relationship that leads up to the marriage these guys have. You just see the marriage strong. But I like the fact that the film takes its time to point out that we fight. And I felt like that was deliberate. Yeah. Like, we can't get into showing you how this thing came to be, but we just want you to know that this is not like, these guys are just like perfect. And in fact, the funny thing about that scene was he was talking about his girlfriend, like, and they don't argue. And it's said in such a way where it's like, you realize that, that relationship cannot be very good, actually. That it's the one where they're fighting that is actually like has a chance to grow and be something. And I thought that was a nice little way of like avoiding over sentimentalizing and romanticizing the marriage these guys have. Like, look, these guys did not come here easy. It cost them, and again, you get that in the bedroom. So it was almost sort of this idea of like, we're going to show you a strong marriage, but don't get any ideas. They fought to get to this point. Like, we can't get into it. We don't have the space to really dig into all of that, but we're just going to let you know from a few hints that it cost these guys something, so you got hints of the sort of, there's some family tension, there's his name doesn't feel fully accepted by her family, there's all of these hints of like, look, these guys are not just like chilling, there's the fact that the girl is actually not the great sort of, the ambition she had for herself didn't exactly work out, and some of it is related to this marriage actually, there's costs, man. There's
one
costs.
thing I also appreciate it. There's a lot of costs, yeah. One thing I also appreciate is the fact that we never got to see the parents' dynamic, because when it comes to marriage, especially with Koreans and even Africans, we see that interference with the family. We didn't see that. We see her mom, coming into picture, but then it wasn't as involved.
Not even anywhere close. Like, they're definitely not in New York. Yes. So there's a bit, not estrangement,
no, but even
but
so far away, there's still that influence. Yeah,
that's the feeling.
It's immigrant
I get.
Life, man.
Like, there's some distance, and I love it because it's like it's saying, look, we're not going to make marriage look all pretty and fun and easy, but we're also going to tell you that it is worth it, and it's just such a wholesome image, honestly, of like,
yeah, I agree.
And I thought that was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful, like, even the fact, like, she never cheated on the guy. She never cheated on Arthur.
No. But would you say that it was
like
more emotional cheating going on?
Would
you say?
Have been like at least a case.
Or a little boob grab, yeah. Hollywood grab. Yeah.
There would have been something.
Yeah.
I feel like, again, all of that was a choice. All of that was a choice. But then the other thing that I love is, the idea of Inyon. Like, I know it's connected to reincarnation, but I feel like Inyon.
Stop calling Inyon. Oh my goodness.
Well, I feel like from a Christian point of view, you can also read it as like, this is just like the ways in which like God is connecting, or providence, right? Like these are all the little connections, the little interactions. The fact that, actually, sometimes you might have 8,000 connections with somebody over the course of your life, and you might be aware of only 15 of them. You know, like how many connections do we make? You know, the people you pass on the way to work, like the people you interact with, the people those people are connected to, like it's networks all the way down.
But even that thing of, if I say Nigerian in Nigerian, I don't think much about them. But if I say Nigerian in the US, they become like, oh, you're Nigerian too? And then even Hae Sung said that, like, what if you had stayed in Korea? Would I have still chased you? Would you have been married? Would you have, gotten divorced? Would you have had kids? So the most of that, you have this allurement towards what you think got away.
But actually,
it seems very, romantic, like to try to get it back. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I agree with you. Like there was if you had stayed, and they have gotten over you actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we have dated at age 15. I realized by age 17 that actually I don't like you like that. And that have been the end of that for good.
Of it, and then we'll not be here today. But guys, Ayomide, we're both nerds. Look at us just gushing.
It's a great film.
We spent it is a great writing. Not just even the writing, the actors.
Did you hear that it's broadly autobiographical?
It brought to life. It is, of course.
Broadly.
Selling story.
Broadly. So not.
I know. Maybe I know.
I don't know how much of it.
Oh my goodness.
No, I just have to emphasize.
You explain what broadly means again?
No, I'm not explaining. I'm just emphasizing. Like, I want you to be sure that you heard the broadly part.
You said it many times. Even the deaf will hear. I heard you.
But I don't know. But I haven't read up what bits. My guess is that the whole sort of guy claims to find her. Maybe didn't happen, but I don't want to read up what part of it exactly was. But I'm guessing the immigration part definitely. The maybe childhood friend definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, something else that I liked. A small thing, but I found it really interesting. I found it, again, it was a choice. The mom said that she wanted her to have a date with the guy because she knew that they were close.
Oh, yeah.
And she did it deliberately so that she could have it as a memory.
I know.
Which I thought was a very beautiful thing. But you know what I thought was interesting? And I loved the choice that the film made. When the mom brought it up, she had forgotten. And I love that. Because one of my favorite things that I've seen about work, I've worked with youth for years and years. You know this. I'm saying this for the benefit of those listening. And one of the things I've always found interesting is you say lots of things to young people. You don't know what will stick.
You don't know.
Some things will stick, but you don't get to choose which. And one of the most fascinating things is that a lot of times it's some throwaway comments that a young person will come back years later and be like, this thing you said really shaped how I saw things. And then the time when you sat down to have like a really deep moment,
remember.
Like, I'm going to sit you down. I'm going to like give you like a real deep, heartfelt sort of like speech
about
and like just really fill you in. They'll be like, that happened? I don't remember.
And that's why you want to make sure that you're populating your words with like
good
but
words. It's freeing in a way because
you never know the
actually it's like it's a reminder that who you are ultimately is what you impart, like your real values. And a lot of those three comments just come from who you are. But it's also like I see it as an encouragement. Like it doesn't mean don't have the deep moments, for sure, because some of them they will remember. But it's like don't stress too hard on like on like making sure all the deep moments go right. Because I feel like you see a lot of parents trying to make sure like, oh, this has to be amazing because it's going to be memory. Like, just calm down, like chill. They will remember something, but it's not what you think. It's okay if it doesn't work out because they probably don't even remember anyway. Like, there's a liberation there. So, like, obviously, she did remember the guy. She did, remember him and remember that she had something. But the special memory that her mom set up, she almost forgot about it. Like, she had to actually, like, spend some moments to, like...
Even the picture, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the picture,
so hilarious. And I thought that was and I feel like that's something the author would have put there as, like, maybe there was some deep thing that her mom thought she did for her that she didn't remember. And she just wanted... Because it just felt like she deliberately wanted to put that into the story of, like, there's this big memory that the mom...
Yes, I can imagine that definitely happened. That's something that would have definitely happened.
I love that. I love that so much. It was like a small thing. Like, the film didn't do anything with it, but I just love the fact that it was there.
It was there, yeah. Well, I think these are all my notes because, I mean, we've talked a lot about just this movie. And I'm so glad I was able to talk with you, talk together with you about it. And for me, finally, will be that I love how, even though we see there are multiple selves across those decades, in dialogue, but it almost seems frozen in time, Oh, and then there's something she said about, the girl you knew existed, but she's not here anymore. I left her with you. Hey.
Oh,
that's deep.
There's so many good lines in that film. So many good lines.
And the English subtitle, but the Korean one my heart just shredded. Like,
tell me what I missed.
And I loved how they were not even like. I have to look at that line again. But the way it stood with me was like, she never left. Almost like you're looking for her, but I left her with you because she was so precious to me and you. He's with you.
That is such a,
but she's not here anymore.
That is there. Yeah. Wow.
And then he said, you had to leave because Korea was too small for you. Yeah. So, and then she even said Nayeon, not even Nora.
You just reminded me of my favorite line.
She said Nayeon, you knew existed, but she doesn't exist yet. What's that?
My most romantic line in the film. I did not know liking your husband would hurt so much. Oh, no. What'd you say?
Said that.
What'd you say?
Yeah. I like that. I actually,
so
that's
beautiful.
when I started looking at him.
It was so beautiful.
And it came from him. Not even the husband saying, I didn't know you liking somebody else could hurt so much. It's him saying, I didn't like, and then she turned around and told the husband, he's talking about you.
Yeah. You know the funny thing? My favorite part was that the husband understood most of what they were saying.
My favorite throuple.
I love the fact that the husband understood a good bit of what they were saying because you realize that he knows Korean. No, he knows Korean though. He doesn't know it well, but it felt like the look on his face, I got the sense of he's speaking enough to follow follow the conversation.
But
he still the fact that he chose to be there for me was just like everything because he could have been so many other places. He didn't have to be there. And he wasn't there he was almost there for her. He wasn't there to like know what they are saying to each other. It was almost like she needed him there and he knew that. And I feel like that's why she was able to be free with the guy because it's like, my husband is here, so I can actually be free with you because I know nothing will happen. And I feel safe. So I can tell you how I feel in a way I've never been able to tell you. You know? But I love the fact that for me, him saying, I don't know like your husband will hurt so much. For me was the moment where it's like him admitting that low key. And again, this is what I mean by the upset thing. Yeah. Low key, I was hoping to save you from some stupid American guy. What I did not expect was to find out that I respect the American guy. And I actually am realizing that he's good for you and you belong here. And I accept it, but it hurts.
Yes.
For me, that was the closest it came to saying I had the fantasy of coming to save you, because never actually said that. But I feel like that's what that meant. I don't know if that's how you saw that.
Yeah, definitely. It came across like that.
Yeah,
well,
that line was
I feel like the more we keep talking, the more things just keep popping up. But we got to wrap it up. It's really been a fantastic discussion today, exploring. I know. Whatever is left, happy crumbs snatching. Exploring. It was a fantastic discussion today.
You have to put in the show notes.
Past lives.
Do not listen if you've not seen the film.
Major.
Because there's a lot of spoilers, man.
Major. But we really hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into the world of cinema with us. We love movies, like good movies and good writing. So if there's some movies you'd like for us to review and watch, just send to us and share your thoughts on this film as well with us on social media or in the comments page on our Instagram. But all in all, thank you. The movie is called Past Lives. It's featuring Taylor and Greta Lee, and it's available on
it's like half in Korean and half in English.
Amazon Prime.
But with subtitles for the Korean.
Yeah.
But those of
unapologetically, the way they spoke the Korean.
I love it. I love that's something films are doing a lot more these days, and I'm really digging it. Like one of my favorite things now is that sometimes films will not even subtitle it. It's almost like they'll leave you to sort of figure it out from context. Like you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for us.
You know what I hate though? Amazon Prime does this, and I think Netflix as well. You're watching a foreign movie, clearly a foreign movie, and they spoke in English, but then they switch to a local dialect. They now put in brackets speaking in a foreign language, like as one of the subtitles. I'm like, what in my foreign language? This movie is a Nigerian movie. That's lazy, what foreign language could it be?
It's like, I think it's,
yes, exactly.
At the minimum,
that really gets my goat.
Even if you won't subtitle it, at least say the name of the language. Let people know, because it's like, oh, this is what this language sounds like. Like now, people will not even know what the language was. A language, right? Like, is it Hausa? Is it Igbo? Is it like what? Is it Tiv?
Yeah.
You know. But it's laziness.
And I think finally is that the movie is also a reminder of just what it means to be human and how we go through these seasons of distance and closeness, and we should not be afraid to embrace just the pain and hurts that come from losing. When I say lose, I use that word loosely, and it's just part of
every
human.
choice we make costs us,
by accepting that change.
And it's like, it's okay to accept that.
And by doing that, we become more alive.
Without saying,
yes.
And that doesn't mean it's a bad choice.
Like one.
Like, the example I think of a lot is like, having children is a beautiful thing and it can be rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
But it will cost you, man. It will cost you. Getting married will cost you.
You lose everything.
Getting married will cost. Like, everything costs. Like, a good job costs you some of your free time, right? Like, this is life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. The cost doesn't mean it's a bad thing. As long as you're willing to acknowledge and embrace that this is the cost that comes with this choice. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Ayomide.
Beautiful.
This was fun.
Thank you.
This was fun.
It was
fun. Thank you. We should do Blue Beetle next. I like that.
Yeah, we could do Blue Beetle. We should do Blue Beetle.
Yeah, yeah. I liked it. I know you're not a Marvel person.
It's not Marvel.
It's good. Sorry, DC. I want
DC.
It's DC. I know you're not
prosper. It's just they don't seem to want to prosper. But Blue Beetle didn't do well in the box office, as I'm sure you know.
I want. But I wonder why. Is it because it had, which was so wrong? Because
I don't think it could have done well, and I'll tell you why. Who knows Blue Beetle? Like, there's no.
I don't even. That was my first time hearing about Blue Beetle.
So it's like it's not even a seat.
Did you know about Blue Beetle? Did you grow up reading the comics and all that?
No, I know of it, but that's it. Like, I don't know anything about it. I just knew that it exists. Like, I know the name. I've never read the comic. I knew nothing about the story. Nothing. Right. So this is the problem. It's a D tier. It's not even a C tier superhero at this point. It's like D tier. So why would people come out to see it? Like, there's no brand name recognition. Like, do you know what I mean? Meanwhile, DC has already lost the trust of the people.
Yeah.
Look at the Flash bombed. But if you look at the way the Flash bombed, it was a combination of many things. But a big part of it was that even the people that saw it did not talk about it. So a lot of people didn't see it, and people that did see it did not talk about it. I feel like with Blue Beetle, the people that saw it liked it. The problem is that people did not go to see it. Which itself tells you something.
I don't even know it's even what's in.
They don't even know that it.
Yeah, they don't know
it happened.
Yeah. But, I won't lie to you. The only reason I watched it was because that one I wanted to go for a date, and it was between that and Oppenheimer, and I'm like, I'm not going to go watch Nuclear War. It was just like a low-hanging fruit.
You should see Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is such a beautiful and lovely film.
I'm not ready.
It's not, I promise you, it's not glorifying things. It's not glorifying what happened.
I know. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. I know the ending part of it. I'm just not ready.
But it's one of the best.
You know when you're in a phase of your life where you just want tender things.
And I would have said if you watch it in IMAX,
even the actor,
because the sound design, oh my lord,
even the
sound design. You should see it in IMAX. It's just at this point you can't get it in IMAX anymore.
What's his name again?
What's his name? He's from
what's his name again? Cillian Murphy. Yes. I love his expressions.
He looks so haunted in the film. He really captured the hauntedness.
It would be if they did a remix of Hotel Bates. I would like for him to be casted as one of the major ones.
Something else you should talk about. Have you seen Wes Anderson's shorts on Netflix?
Which one?
He has 4. There's 4. One is 39 minutes. The others are exactly 17 minutes, which is, again, a very interesting choice. Because 39 minutes is almost exactly double of 17. And all the other shots are 17 minutes. No more, no less.
Oh, is it a wonderful story of Harry and Sugar?
It's one of 4. There's 4. This Harry and Sugar one.
Is that like a sequence to watch it?
No, not really.
Oh, Poison, Ratcatcher, and this one.
You should see them.
I haven't seen that. I bookmark it because it's Benedict Cumberbatch. We can talk about that.
I don't know if you're into Wes Anderson, but
I love it. Are you kidding me? Yes.
If you love Wes Anderson, you will love these films. They are amazing, and they're short.
He's a bit quirky.
He's a bit
quirky, but yeah. I like Moonrise Kingdom and the Grand.
Yes. Have you seen Asteroid City? The one
I Love Dogs. I haven't seen that one. I've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, I Love Dogs,
I've seen
Grand Budapest.
The only one I haven't seen is
City came out this year,
Darjeeling. Right? I haven't seen Darjeeling, and I think I haven't seen another one.
But the reviews for Asteroid City was really bad, so that kind of like
Asteroid City was good. I don't care what the review said; it was good. I think people don't. He's quirky and he's opinionated, and I think.
They don't get the thing about if you don't get it.
Not just like I think you have to be open to it because it's not normal. Like the guy is not normal and his films are not normal, and that's fine. But I also I don't recommend Wes Anderson to everybody because I'm like, look, you might not like it, and I don't even judge you for that. It's fine. I know it's like we all know it's quirky, but if you get it, you get it. If you like it, you like it. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's not for everybody, and that's fine. Like I don't even mean that as an elitist thing. It's like. Some things are just not for everybody. Not everything is jollof rice. Some things are oyster.
Yeah. Oyster alone, no. Not even like pomo and chicken. Oyster alone, no.
But yeah, but I thought that was good. And then the other thing I was thinking we could talk about, which I don't know if you've seen it, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, although it's old now.
Like the classic Pinocchio?
But told by Guillermo del Toro. And it's on Netflix.
Oh,
it's animation.
Oh, really?
It is beautiful. Especially if you like Del Toro generally, you will love this film.
I like him. Okay.
And he's into
do you know what was over 1,000 days?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's a different take on Pinocchio. Mexican. I promise you, this is not your Disney's Pinocchio. Coco. You don't know. You don't like the story is a very different take.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes.
Pan's Labyrinth. Yes. That's one of myself and Chiamaka and The Shape of Water, which was
yes. And Hellboy, the first Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy.
So, he's like Catholic. Yeah. I don't know if he's practicing Catholic, but he grew up Catholic. So there's this whole thing.
You see those symbolisms in it.
Yes, there's this. And there's good and evil exploration.
He's Mexican.
He's Mexican.
He's Mexican.
Of
He's
course,
Mexican. There's no way spirituality. Yes.
But he's also fascinated with like monsters, or like, I don't say monsters, but things that people perceive as monsters. So like Pan's Brain, Shape of Water, Hellboy, you can see that thing of like this sort of grotesque-ish type things. And they're just exploring how they respond to people and how people respond to them, and using that to sort of explore. He's very interesting.
I like him. I like his stories.
So all of that you will see in Pinocchio. Anyway, that's where I'm going with that.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. It's old now.
But he has...
For some reason, a lot of people haven't seen it, because I guess whenever something's animation, people don't care enough about it.
I didn't even hear about it. I didn't know about it.
Good.
And I love that one girl. My girl goes in Moulin Rouge. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna let me download that. I'm downloading.
There's a lot of things to watch. But yeah, the Wes Anderson ones are short. So they're like 39 minutes, like I said. So they're not very long. They won't take your time. But they are so good.
Which was your favorite one?
I've only seen...
Which was your favorite one?
Henry Sugar is my favorite. But I think that's also because it's longer. So it takes a bit more time to cook. But also, I love the themes.
No poison. And they don't follow. It's like an anthology.
It's like an anthology. So you can watch them in any order.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's an order. I don't even know. But me, I watch them in any order. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
This was fun.
Thank you. Before you go, how you doing?